Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to be going over everything you need to know to fly IFR in Beyond ATC. We'll go over all the clearances you need to get and everything you need to say, so that by the end of this video you'll be able to fly wherever you want in what I think is the best ATC option out there. With that, let's get on with the video. If you want to fly with Beyond ATC, you've got to use SimBrief, especially if you're flying IFR. I'm not sure if this is going to change in the future when we get VFR, but for now you need to use SimBrief whenever you want to fly. So we're going to start off by making a quick flight plan. We'll be flying for British Airways shuttle. We'll go 13 uniform and we'll fly Manchester to Heathrow. We'll be flying it in the A320neo by fly-by-wire, and we're just quickly going to set our takeoff time. Once we've got our flight plan set up here, we're just quickly going to generate our flight, and then once our flight plan's generated, we can go into the simulator and set Beyond ATC up. So I'll catch up with you when we get to that stage. So now that we've loaded into the sim at Manchester, we can open Beyond ATC. So I'm just going to do that now. It's worth doing this before you start starting your flight, or before you want to say anything to ATC, because it does take a minute or two to load up, especially with some of the more complex airports. Okay, so now that we've loaded into Beyond ATC, and once you get to this page, you're just going to want to make sure your SimBrief pilot ID's in there, and then hit fly. Then while this is loading, we're just going to put it in the background
connected.
While we start up our plane. So you're going to want to start up your plane to the point where just before you start putting any data into your FMC. So I'll catch up with you then. So now that we've got the aircraft turned on and we're ready to start programming our FMC, we've got the IRS starting to align. So you can come down to our FMC and we can just start to program it. But before we do any of this, we're going to want to go into Beyond ATC and then tune the ATIS. So for this part of the tutorial, I'd recommend having a pen and paper, just so you can write down what it says. So we're going to play that.
Manchester Airport Information Delta 1022 Zulu. Wind 280 at 7 ceiling 1800 broken. Tree 100 overcast. Temperature 12. Dew point 09er. QNH 1014. Landing runway 2 tree right. Departing runways 2 tree right, 2 tree left. Transition level 050. 5G notice in effect. Advise on initial contact. You have information delta.
Okay, so once you've got that, I'd recommend making note of the ATIS number. So we had information delta there. The wind, which is 280 at 7 knots. The clouds, so I had broken at 1,800, and then I think it was overcast at 30,000. The temperature was 12 degrees, the QNH was 1014, and then we also had our departing runways, which was 23 right or left, and then our transition altitude, which was flight level 050. So those are the main things you've got to take note of. Those are the things you're going to have to put into your FMC. After you've done that, you can go into the clearance, which is this one here. And here we're going to request IFR clearance. So we're shuttle 13 uniform. It says your call sign just here. So we're going to say shuttle, actually no, we're going to say Manchester delivery shuttle 13 uniform or shuttle 13 uniform requesting IFR to Heathrow as filed. And that should get you the clearance that you need to go to Heathrow. Manchester delivery shuttle 13 uniform requesting IFR to Heathrow as filed.
Aircraft calling. I didn't get that.
So sometimes it doesn't quite understand you, so I guess it's good that we had that happen to us, so I can just say that that happens. It's fine, you can just say it again. Manchester delivery shuttle 13 uniform requesting IFR to Heathrow. Okay, so you see that second time.
Shuttle 13 uniform, Manchester delivery, expect runway 2 tree right, Sang 1 Romeo departure. Squawk 6246.
Shuttle 13 uniform, squawk 6246, runway 23 right departure, Sang 1 Romeo departure.
Shuttle 13 uniform, read back correct. Contact ground 121.855 when ready for push or start.
Ground on 121.855, shuttle 13 uniform. Okay, so as you heard there, we had to read back, so again, I'd recommend writing down the things that they say to you, and then they're going to hand you over to ground. So we'll be tuning to ground as soon as we're ready for pushback. So we want to program our FMC with all the information we've just been given, and then I'll catch up with you when we contact ground and want to request pushback. Because they didn't give us a altitude when they were giving us our clearance, I'm just going to put our altitude in this little window here to the altitude on the charts. So if I check here, that is 5,000 feet. So I'm going to quickly put this up to 5,000 feet, and that should be okay with what ATC wants us to do. So with that, we've got the aircraft programmed fully, I'm pretty sure. So we're just going to wait until our IRS is aligned, which looks like it's going to be in 3 minutes. And then once that's happened, we can request our pushback. So our IRS is just aligned, and I've been getting GSX to get the tow truck connected. So as soon as that's happened, I'm going to request for our pushback clearance from ground, and then we can get GSX to push us back in the direction that ATC wants us to go. Manchester ground, shuttle 13 uniform with information Delta requesting pushback.
Shuttle 13 uniform, Manchester ground, pushback approved. Face southeast.
Pushback to the southeast, shuttle 13 uniform. Okay, so you heard what I just said there, so that's all you've got to say when you want to request pushback, and then you've just got to read it back to them. So the southeast for us is to our right, so we want our nose to go right, and so that's what we're going to tell GSX to do.
Release parking brakes, please. Commencing push. All engines are clear. Start at will.
Okay, so now that we've been pushed back, we can request our taxi clearance from Beyond ATC. So we're just going to say something like Shuttle 13 uniform requesting taxi to the runway, and that should be enough to get us our taxi clearance. So again, you're going to want to write this down. It is sometimes quite long depending on the airport you're at. Manchester ground, Shuttle 13 uniform requesting taxi to runway.
Shuttle 13 uniform, runway 23 right taxi via November Charlie, Echo, Lima, Pupper, Kilo, Juliet, Yankee.
Departure runway 23 right via November Charlie, Echo, Lima, Romeo, Kilo, Juliet, Yankee, Shuttle 13 uniform. Okay, so it sounds like my readback was correct there. So we can start our taxi towards the runway. While we're taxiing, at some point once we get near the runway, they are going to tell us to contact tower. So we'll just have to tune that frequency, and then as soon as we get to the runway, we will contact them.
Shuttle 13 uniform, contact Manchester Tower 119.405.
Manchester Tower on 119.405, Shuttle 13 uniform. So we heard there that they wanted us to contact tower, so we're just going to do that as soon as we line up, well, hold short of this little bit here. Manchester Tower, Shuttle 13 uniform holding short, runway 23 right.
Shuttle 13 uniform, Manchester Tower, wind 280 at 7, runway 23 right, cleared for takeoff.
Cleared for takeoff, runway 23 right, Shuttle 13 uniform. Okay, so we heard there that they cleared us for takeoff, so we're just going to head off now. Once we take off, they're going to clear us to contact departure, so we're going to want to tune the frequency, and then we're going to say something like Shuttle 13 uniform is at flight level whatever altitude we're at. It'll be a regular altitude, and then we'll say climbing flight level 050, because that'll be the altitude we've got set here. It does look like we've got something a bit weird with our flight plan there, but hopefully once it figures out what speed we're going at, it will figure that out. So we're going to put a slight downward pressure on our side stick, put 40% throttle. Looks like our engines are spooling up correctly, and then we'll just hit tow go. Okay, tow go. Airspeed alive, 80 knots. V1, rotate. Positive rate of climb, gear coming up. Okay. And get our first notch of flaps up. Okay. I'm going to...
Shuttle 13 uniform. Contact Manchester departure 121.355.
So I've turned the autopilot on, and now I'm going to tune that frequency. Manchester departure on 121.355, Shuttle 13 uniform. Manchester departure, Shuttle 13 uniform is at 4,000 feet, climbing flight level 050.
Shuttle 13 uniform. Manchester departure. Good day. Identified. Climb to flight level 100.
Flight level 100, Shuttle 13 uniform. So they just cleared us to ascend, so I'm going to do that. So for the rest of our ascent, ATC is going to periodically tell us to ascend to whatever altitude. We put it in here, we ascend, and then whenever we leave their airspace, they're going to tell us the frequency to go to, and then we just contact them. The same as we contact departure just now.
All aircraft be advised information echo now current. QNH 1014.
So every now and then when you're on a departure frequency or something like that, they will give you the new ATIS. So we just had that. It doesn't apply to us because we're already on the standard QNH. But if you're not there yet, then you've got to make sure that you're on the right QNH.
Shuttle 13 uniform. Contact London Control 118.775.
So they've just told us to contact London. Before we were giving new altitude, so we're just going to do that now. London Control on 118.775, Shuttle 13 uniform. London Control, Shuttle 13 uniform is at flight level 090, climbing flight level 100.
Shuttle 13 uniform, London Control, identified. Climb to flight level 190.
Climb flight level 190, Shuttle 13 uniform. So quite a lot of the time when you are tuning to a new frequency, they'll give you your new altitude. So it really just depends. Okay, so we've just reached our cruise altitude, so I'm quickly going to put our descent data in to the FMC, and then I can talk you through how we're going to manage our descent with ATC. Okay, so now that we've got that programmed in, I can talk you through how we're going to manage our descent. So once we get to our top of descent, which is that little white line there in the Airbus, we're going to call out to ATC, Shuttle 13 uniform ready for descent. And then they'll tell us a altitude to descend to, and then we'll put it in here, and we'll just descend with VNAV. It's fairly easy. And so
Shuttle 13 uniform, London Control, expect Hun 1 Hotel, runway 27 left.
Expect runway 27 left, Hun 1 Hotel, Shuttle 13 uniform. Okay, so they just told us our descent information, which is what we already knew from our flight plan, but they're just confirming that for us, which is nice of them. So yes, once we're ready to descend, when we get to that little white arrow there, we can tell them we're ready to descend, they'll give us the altitudes, and I can talk you through the rest once we get there. As soon as you can, you're probably going to want to listen to the ATIS for your arrival airport rather. So you can do that now when we get to our approach here, which we're just about to do. But that's the exact same thing as we did before when we were departing, listening to the ATIS there. So you can do that on your own, use it as a way to test yourself almost. So yeah, pause the video, do that, and then you can catch up with me later.
Shuttle 13 uniform, Hun 1 Hotel, runway 27 left. Verify ready for descent.
So it sounds like they want us to descend now before the aircraft's ready, but that's completely fine. So we're just going to do that. So we're going to say ready for descent, same as we would have normally. But sometimes you want to descend before ATC, so you'd tell them before they contact you. So we're going to say Shuttle 13 uniform ready for descent.
Shuttle 13 uniform, Hun 1 Hotel, runway 27 left. Verify ready for descent.
Okay, so that's not working, so I'm just going to do it in the interface because I'm not entirely sure the exact words that they want us to say, so we're just going to do
Hun 1 Hotel, runway 27 left, ready for descent, Shuttle 13 uniform.
So they're going to give
Shuttle
us
13
altitude to
uniform,
descend to.
descend to flight level 150.
Descend flight level 150, shuttle 13 uniform.
Shuttle 13 uniform, contact London Control 118 for 75.
London Control on 118.475, shuttle 13 uniform. London Control shuttle 13 uniform is flight level 187 descending flight level 150.
Shuttle 13 uniform, London Control, identified.
Okay, so we've got our descent data and our landing data inputted, so now all we've got to do is follow the aircraft down and get to where we want to be.
Shuttle 13 uniform, descend to flight level 070.
Flight level 070, shuttle 13 uniform.
Shuttle 13 uniform, contact Heathrow approach 13 for decimal 908.
Heathrow approach on 134.908, shuttle 8 whiskey. Heathrow approach shuttle 13 uniform is flight level 144 descending flight level 070.
Shuttle 13 uniform, verify information X-ray.
We have information X-ray, shuttle 13 uniform.
Shuttle 13 uniform Heathrow approach. Good day. QNH1014, expect the ILS runway 27 left with the Bovingdon VOR transition.
Expect runway 27 left with Bovingdon transition, QNH 1014, shuttle 13 uniform.
Shuttle 13 uniform, cleared direct Bovingdon VOR, cross Bovingdon VOR at or above flight level 070, cleared ILS runway 27 left.
Cleared to Bovingdon VOR at flight level 070 or above, cleared runway 27 left, shuttle 13 uniform. So we're cleared to the Bovingdon VOR, which is just here, and we want to be at flight level 070. Actually, maybe the VOR's that one there. So yeah, flight level 070 there, and then we descend there on to flight level, runway 27 left. Okay, so I'm going to put us down to 3,000 feet. So at some point they're going to clear us to contact tower, and then once they do that, tower will clear us to land on runway 27 left. Okay, so we are pretty much lined up on the runway. So at some point...
Shuttle 13 uniform, contact Heathrow Tower 124.475.
Heathrow Tower on 124.475, shuttle 13 uniform. Heathrow Tower shuttle 13 uniform is at 3,000 feet on final for runway 27 left.
Shuttle 13 uniform, Heathrow Tower, wind 290 at 5, runway 27 left cleared to land.
Cleared to land runway 27 left, shuttle 13 uniform. Okay, so I've just armed the localizer mode, and then I'll also put us on the glide slope. Okay, so we've been cleared to land, we can do everything as normal. So we're ready to fly the plane.
2,500.
We're a bit high, so I'm going to increase our descent rate there, and then hopefully we'll be able to intercept that localizer. Oh, glide slope rather. Okay, so we are quite high. Quite high indeed. I might just fly us in manually. Might be a bit easier. Okay, yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. Actually, no. I can approach mode. Okay, so I'll go around altitude is about 3,000 feet, so I'll set that. So gear is set. I'm just quickly going to put our spoilers up. On that, just in case I forget to turn autopilot on and we need a auto land. Okay, so it looks like everything is ready for us to land.
500.
So once we touch down, we're going to vacate the runway as soon as possible, and then we'll be told to contact ground, which we'll do. And then we can ask for taxi instructions to our gate.
400.
Okay, my controls. I'll keep auto throttle on just because it seems a bit easier. Okay. Not too low.
200.
200. Okay, a bit high.
100 above.
And to the side. 100 above. Continue.
100.
100. Continue. Okay, bit of lag. That's
Minimum.
fine. Continue.
50. 40. 30.
Ooh. Okay,
30.
so this is a terrible landing.
20.
But,
10. 5.
the purpose of the video isn't to tell you how to land the plane. So we'll just slow down here and then we'll vacate off the side.
Shuttle 13 uniform, exit left at Sierra 5 Whiskey.
Exit Sierra 5 Whiskey, Shuttle 13 uniform. Okay, so we're going to get past this mark and then we can clean up the aircraft and contact ground.
Shuttle 13 uniform, contact ground 121.905. Have a good day.
Ground on 120.905, Shuttle 13 uniform, thank you. Heathrow ground, Shuttle 13 uniform is vacated runway 27 left, requesting taxi to the gate.
Shuttle 13 uniform, welcome to Heathrow Airport. Say parking or advise if need assignment.
We'll take any gate, thank you. So there you can say any gate number you want.
Shuttle 13 uniform, gate for 1 for taxi via Sierra 5 Whiskey, Sierra, Victor.
Taxi via Sierra 5 Whiskey, Sierra Whiskey, Victor, Shuttle 13 uniform. Close enough. Oh, it actually accepted it. Okay, so we're going to taxi, and then we can finish the video once we get to our area. Okay, so we just finished our flight. So with that, you can just close the Beyond ATC window, close the sim, do whatever you want to do. You've finished. Congratulations. So, yeah, goodbye. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you found it useful. If you've got any questions, of course, let me know in the comments. If I can't help, then I'm sure there's someone else that can. But I'll be here for as long as I can to try and help, obviously. So yeah, with that, goodbye. And hey, maybe try one of these videos on the right-hand side of your screen.